For thousands of years, we've been living under a patriarchal system, a man's world, if I may say, and every single day it's hustle culture. Wake up early, do your thing, stand on business, show up, show up, show up. Consistency, consistency, consistency. And women have been showing up in the corporate world like men, functioning on a 24-hour cycle, whereas our cycle is a 28-day cycle. How a man shows up in a day is how I show up in a month. And you will have women, corporate baddies, doing their thing at work, standing on business, clocking in, and meeting deadlines while bleeding profusely. It has gone on for years, and we've managed to operate in that way. But the reality is we've just been suppressing our natural rhythm. And this suppression is so harmful to our bodies because we experience fibroids, we experience endometriosis, we experience painful periods, we experience extreme PMS because we are living in a system that requires us to suppress who we are naturally. It is a difficult way to exist, yet some women do it with so much ease. I commend their strength, and at the same time I acknowledge and empathize with the reality that we have to live in. Growing up in religion, you're taught that your menstrual cycle is dirty. You are unclean when you are in that moon phase. You are not supposed to do certain things because you're unclean. And the truth is, you are powerful, more powerful than you can even imagine. And so, being raised under religion, you were taught to internalize the guilt and the shame and the disgust that has been projected on you for something that occurs to you naturally, something that happens when you come of age, a beautiful transition of life that is supposed to be celebrated and not suppressed and shamed. And it's just so sad how we're expected to function optimally in a system that does not benefit us at all. But I digress. I really started tuning into my body because I realized that the body always communicates. When energy is suppressed, it doesn't just leave the body, it stays somewhere in the body, causing dis-ease. And until you start listening to your body and starting to get to the root of the problem, that's when you start to get to know yourself better. I began cycle syncing when I started my mindfulness journey. I think this was 2022. That's not so long ago. So for years I've just been suppressing my true nature, and you can imagine how painful the menstrual cycle was for me. But when I started cycle syncing, when I started listening to my body, honoring its needs, when my energy peaks, showing up to my fullest potential, and when my energy drops, resting and reflecting and really tuning in, because during this luteal phase leading into the menstrual phase, you are intuitive, you are psychic, you get downloads, you get to know more. And since our menstrual cycle is directly linked to the moon, bleeding in certain phases of the moon directly explains where you are in your life. Like when you bleed with the new moon, it's time to set new intentions. When you bleed with the full moon, it's time for you to release certain things. When you bleed with the waxing moon, it's time to go out there. It's time to explore. And and when you bleed with the waning moon, it's time to go within. We never learned these things because of the systems that we're functioning in, which is sad. But once you tap into that knowledge, you unleash a power that has just been sitting there waiting for you to remember who you are. And so I decided, you know what, let me cycle sync, let me listen to my body and honor it. And it honestly conflicted my work. I could no longer show up the way I used to, because the reality is, well, we live in a man's world. I'm not a man, and I don't aspire to be one. So I decided, let me cycle sync. And I did not care who it bothered, because I was just at the point in my life where I was done. I was done abandoning myself. I'm no longer going to suppress my natural rhythm just to survive. I don't want to survive. I want to live. I want to experience life fully. And I am fortunate enough to really love my artistic and creative nature so much that I chose not to be in the corporate world, because it just never aligned with me, and I never judged myself for that. I really accepted and loved myself fully for that, and because of that, it really gave me the opportunity and the time to cycle sync and honor my body and my body's needs immediately. And these little acts of showing up is truly how you could also regulate your nervous system. It starts with getting to the root of the dis-ease that is within your body, and listening to your body and tuning and devoting time to your body's needs. Our womb, our creation space is in the womb. Creation space is within this portal. This portal is where we give life, not only to babies, but to your ideas, to your dreams, to your goals. And suppressing this cycle really stops you from becoming your best self. I truly encourage you to look into how you show up. Look into how you honor your body. Look into what is important for you, and start small, because I know there are corporate baddies out there doing their thing that might have a hard time showing up in a man's world as a woman. But keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing, girl. But at the same time, also find time. Make time to honor your body. Check in. Journal it out. Meditate. Do yoga. Just somatic practices also, Eat healthier. Drink more water. But most importantly, just tune in, because the answers are within. It's time for you to remember who you are, and not only remember, but step back in to your power. Everything about you that you were taught to hate or to shame, it's time for you to look at those things with love and grace, because that is more likely where your power dwells. Let me know in the comments below how you function, what your cycle is like, and how you show up for yourself in the best way. The whole point of this is for us to become better and better, one step at a time, and also to start devoting to ourselves again and loving ourselves again the way we're supposed to. I'm so grateful I could share my experiences. Let me know if you have personal experiences when it comes to your cycle that you've learned throughout your journey. And yeah, let's learn from each other. I really look forward to hearing from you. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay soft, be graceful to yourself, and always, always love yourself like your life depends on it. Because it does.